And that is how, with a few small modifications, you can turn any bed into a waterbed. Oh, hello there. Welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer 2019 tournament. I'm Virtual Cat, and I'm here with my good friend Cyclone. Cyclone, how are you?
You beat me to my introduction. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing well. We are here for a match one between P-Train and DIVISIGNS.
And I was actually going to go ahead and do an intro myself. We are coming to you from beautiful Death Mountain in the mystical land of Hyrule, and we are going to see everything from up here. So, what do you know about this matchup tonight, Virtual Cat?
So I know P-Train pretty well. He and I play in a lot of the same community areas. I don't know DIVISIGNS too well, but I'm interested in this match just because it's going to be a good round one match. Just a standard open match. It's what we've all seen before. But these two racers, they qualified. They're part of the. They made it through the qualifiers and made it through groups. So we will see how they.
Yep, and like you said, I'm familiar with P-Train as well. I have seen him running in the daily races on multiple occasions and other qualifier events. I think I actually might have seen one of the qualifiers I called, actually, which is quite convenient. But DIVISIGNS, as you said, I'm not really familiar with him. I think I might have seen him once at most. I'll be very interested to see what he brings to tonight's race, what kind of competition this turns out to be. So I always like to ask a question, Virtual Cat. What do you think you want to be the hard-to-find item tonight?
I think I think we'll see Big Key on Torch in GT, and boots will not be required until that.
You're going with the evil layout. We already had our hammer at Pyramid Fairy yesterday, from what I'm told, so can't really wish for that anymore. But I don't know if we've had a ped scene this tournament yet, have we?
I don't think we have, but we are on our way.
Not since qualifiers anyway. We have a bug net and a heart piece to start out the race.
DIVISIGNS is going right up to Hyrule Castle, and P-Train is going to make the Kakariko play early.
This could be a trip up to the Lost Woods first, actually. Most runners tend to go north before they go down to Kakariko. We might get a lumberjack ledge. He seems to be leaning in that direction. Well, never mind.
That was a heck of a tree pull for DIVISIGNS, and Bush Crab is bombs as well. And both of our racers are going to be stocking up early.
Well, we don't have to buy any. That's good news. And why not throw a sign at the octopus and, hey, get more bombs. You wasted time collecting them off the crab. Sorry. Ooh. We have a KS Samaria in the chest south of Uncle. And that's a 20 rupee prize on P-Train side on the lumberjack ledge.
So if anybody is watching this and they are not sure what's going on, why is DIVISIGNS playing as a telepath tile? Why are items in different places? This is a randomized Link to the Past. We have taken all the items, we have shuffled them up, we have shuffled up the crystals and the pendants. Our goal is still to get 7 crystals, climb GT, Ganon's Tower, and then kill Ganon. But our racers are going to have to do a little bit more. They're going to have to figure out where to go, when to go there, and things are just going to open up in different orders.
I didn't catch what was in the Lost Woods. I was watching the wrong side of the screen here, but I see a piece of heart in the drop down. And what do you think of DIVISIGNS sprite today, as we're going to see what's in the Lost Woods now?
I like it. I love all the sprite choices. There are over 100 different sprites you can play as on ALTTPR.com. Everything from telepath tiles to invisible links. But we are seeing a modern link, I believe that is, and a telepath tile.
Yeah, that is definitely the hint tile, as I would prefer to call it, because we know them as hint tiles in the randomizer nowadays. But it is normally a telepathy tile with Sahasrara in the vanilla game. That is correct. And I think you're right on that being a modern link. I think there's like 150, 200 sprite options now. It's well over 100 now. That was there's a huge, huge list of them. And I know there's a page. I don't have it handy right now, but there is a page with all of the available sprites on it. There's our Ether Medallion.
We also got Sank Heart and a bottle, so that's going to allow the sick kid to give us his item, and some more bombs. A pretty good blind hideout there. 300 rupees in one of those chests as well. Yeah, 5 more chests here in the well. P-Train's going to drop a bomb and toss that real quick and gets the power glove. That is a very nice and important item to have.
Power Glove is a fantastic item. We need to find certain items to get to the Dark World. Power Glove, the Hammer, the Moon Pearl, of course, being the most important. Things like that you absolutely have to have. Titan's Mitzvah and Hammer will generally give you full Dark World access. Most of the Dark World, anyway. And that is 10 arrows, which is about 10 rupees an arrow. And we're going to see any chicken clips here today in the chicken hut. Nope, just pull a wall and walk in.
Oh!
Vanity confirmed the mirror has been located in the chicken hut. Those chickens were apparently reflecting on their existence.
Oh, and we got a quick map check from DIVISIGNS. It looks like we have a red crystal over at Eastern Palace, and we have 2 blue crystals also in the Light World.
We got our check of the sick kid. Unfortunately, all we did was take what was left of his life from him.
Getting a lot of bombs early. All chests are bombs here soon, or today.
Unfortunately, because you only can hold 10 of them, that means that they're really not getting anything for opening that chest. I think that was money on the library ledge. I saw 20 rupees there. And what is P-Train going to find at the race game? He's choosing not to play the race game in advance. Stop to think about it for a second and decide, no, I don't need that blue potion. 1 ball is enough.
Let's hope that his hubris does not come back to bite him later. And P-Train is making his way to the right, and he's going to go into back of escape.
And speaking of the back of escape, P-Train blowing the hole there right now. Back under 10 bombs. He can pick up more bombs now. 10 arrows. 50 bucks. Ooh, we have a lamp. So that puts Eastern Palace, the big key chest, into logic. And theoretically, you could walk to the back, but we still need the bow to be able to complete it.
We also have the first couple chests on Death Mountain available now with that lamp.
We also have Dark Cross, so I could see a full castle clear. And I thought P-Train might be doing that for a second, but no, he's doing the South Shore. Of course, the reason he's not doing the castle yet is because we don't really have any good weapon yet. That net will not do a lot to rope in those guards.
You're going to see one of our little minor glitches that are allowed in here.
Ooh.
Flippers. You'll see that P-Train made that block disappear. As long as you're in an area that the mirror won't warp you back to the beginning of a dungeon or into the Dark World or Light World, these movable blocks, you can just mash on the mirror and you'll just make them disappear. It just saves a little bit of time. And 300 rupees, P-Train is going to go ahead and pick that up. Zora is in play here, and P-Train is going to go check out Agina.
Yeah, he's putting Agina in for early. That's actually a really interesting play. This can be easily orphaned by continuing the South Shore checks by going to the right. I wonder if this started to become more of a thing. I saw this happen in the race yesterday as well. So this might become more of a thing here where more runners decide to get the desert checks out of the way and then do the rest of the South Shore afterward.
P-Train does like to go ahead and do Agina and the desert checks. P-Train, he's got some good videos on YouTube for just standard execution. I definitely recommend checking those out.
DIVISIGNS picks up another bush and reveals more bombs that he doesn't really feel he needs. And he's going to be the first mini Moldorm cave thanks to the check of Agina from P-Train. And P-Train continuing into the hole at Agina's cave. And there's 20 bucks from Agina's treasure chest. Meanwhile, DIVISIGNS fighting the mini Moldorms in what is ironically called, in the randomizer, Mini Moldorm Cave. Using K as Samaria strats.
I mean, he doesn't really have much else to do there, but he does get in. He's going to get his 5 chests here. We got a 20 rupee. We got the Titan's mitts. We got another red rupee. We got another red rupee and 10 arrows. Titan's mitts makes that absolutely worth it. That item will be required to finish the game.
We already got 6 or 7 red rupees out there. I know that's the most common item. I think there's about 28 of them, but the odds of it has to be going down by now. So DIVISIGNS is going to continue over to Ice Rod Cave, and I'm going to be... Well, I was about to say I'd be curious if we fake flippers, but no, we have the flippers. We don't have to fake flipper. We can go for a swim if we want to after that.
Got to be careful around here with these crabs. In the main game, in the original Zelda Link to the Past, these are kind of set there to deter you from going this way. Those are tough enemies. They move fast and they take off 2 hearts of health early. This is where we normally get the Ice Rod, and instead it's just 10 arrows today.
And just to explain what you meant by the crabs there, there's 2 hearts of damage on green male. So that is, as you said, absolutely right. It deters you from going that way until you have more hearts or ability to deal with those crabs. But very skilled players can dispatch them with the sword, not have any problem with it, just be able to go there whenever they want to get that Ice Rod. That Ice Rod actually can kill, or can be used in the battle against Lamolus. So it rewards anyone playing the game who decides to go that way first.
And speaking of sword, our racers don't have one yet, but they know where one is. It is on that island in Lake Hylia. Lake Hylia. I never learned how to say that.
Hylia, yeah, I do it too.
P-Train goes, checks under the bridge, and DIVISIGNS is going straight up to not Pyramid Ferry, Waterfall Ferry, so we can get 2 items here.
Oh, that's another big 20. I'm going to forget what I said about the red rupees, but we have another red item, and that is the red item that gives you fast, speedy feet. In other words, the speed run may now begin. What's on the Zora ledge? We have a piece of heart.
Racer's probably not going to go grab that, but we are going to be seeing what King Zora has for sale here. The ultimate capitalist is going to take 500 rupees in exchange for a piece of heart.
Ooh. Yep, that that to me is a scam. Ooh, he almost went to delete file. That would not have been good.
Yeah, there has been a slight delay, I believe, added to the title screen. And muscle memory makes it very difficult to not do delete file every now and then. Oh, we're getting King's Tomb. We can do that with Titan's Mitts and the boots. And we'll see what we have in here. Oh.
Ooh, we have sharp pointy things. Eastern Palace is now fully completable.
That sounds like a fantastic place to go. That is 3 chests over at Sahasrah's house, and then 3 more chests in Eastern Palace.
The question is, will the runners finding that bow, and DIVISIGNS having it now P-Train, probably going to find it soon with those boots. Will the runners want to go there without a sword? That could be the deterring factor. They could do it with King of Samaria, and I'm actually wondering if P-Train has King of Samaria. I'm assuming he would have had that checked by now, unless he just... No, he hasn't gone to Escape Uncle yet, has he?
He has not gone to Escape yet at all.
Yeah, that's our only weapon. Besides
the P-Train making no stops at Hyrule Castle today.
Yeah, hopefully he does soon, because the fact that he has no weapon has to be deterring him. I have a feeling this might send him up to the castle. Let's see if that is the case. He is starting at Link's house.
And that is what he's doing. He is chugging along, going to go see the uncle. And then we'll see if he continues down into Hyrule Castle basement.
I think he will with the, at this point. He has the boots and that'll let him go fast down there too. So I think it might be worth it to go down there at this point. Meanwhile, looking at DIVISIGNS, he just checked the Lumberjack Ledge, by the way, and maybe wondering why P-Train checked it so early and why DIVISIGNS didn't. Well, the answer to that is it's runner preference. You can't check Lumberjack Ledge until you have the boots anyway. Even if you beat Aghanim and the tree for Lumberjack Ledge becomes available to bonk into, you have to actually have the boots to get rid of that tree. So a lot of runners don't like to bother with what's there until they actually have the boots, and then they start thinking, okay, this is starting to feel like an item C. Do I have to go get this item? At that point, they would check and verify that. I personally like getting the information early. That way you just know, and you can get the information a minute in that, hey, guess what? There's a hammer here. You need to get this, or something along those lines.
And DIVISIGNS goes up, takes the old man tome, just does that, just get the starting point. And it looks like he's probably now going to make his way over to Sahasrahla and Eastern.
Yep, DIVISIGNS diverging from what P-Train is doing. P-Train, as I suspected, is doing the castle right now. So he is going to head down in the basement while DIVISIGNS heads up to Sahasrahla's area. And of course, with no sword, you can't just rush through the Octorok. You have to fire an arrow at it. So it's going to slow him down a little bit with no sword. Who knows? There's probably a sword in here, though. It's got to be a sword in here, right?
We are not wanting to see a small key in any of these next couple chests for P-Train. That is the last thing he wants to see. DIVISIGNS getting nothing from the back of Sas's house.
You mean bombs and money is nothing?
Oh, green pendant Misery Mire.
Ew. That's just not fun.
So yeah, there is one item contingent on the green pendant being turned into Sahasrahla, and today's green pendant is at Misery Mire, Dungeon 6 in the Dark World.
D-Train heading down to basement level 2, which is going to lead coincidentally to basement level 3. Very, very short walk over to there. And over at basement level 3, hey, we found a jail cell. Nobody's in the jail cell. That's kind of interesting.
Basement 2 is that trips up a lot of NMG runs early.
Ooh, piece of heart in the cell. That is an item, at least. It is not a good item, but it's an item. And P-Train is down at the castle, and I think he's going to go over to Eastern at this point. There really is nothing else to do. If we find nothing good over here, this might be starting to lean towards Aghanim, but we're going to have to find a sword in Eastern Palace if we're going to be pulling that one off. Actually, 2 swords at this point. So I'm going to suggest that because we would need either a sword and a cape or 2 swords to get to Aghanim at this point, I think it is probably logical to say that we're probably going to find progression for another dungeon in here. I would suggest we're either going to have... Actually, no, we can get to Death Mountain. Sorry, Tower of Hera is open.
Yeah, it is. DIVISIGNS made his way up there, but just stopped at the old man. P-Train making his way to Eastern Palace without the bow. Oh, he's saving and quitting at Sahasrahla. And there's the Moon Pearl in Eastern Palace.
Good. That's going to be something P-Train's going to have to head back there for. We can't get far in the Dark World without it.
Well, he's going to be checking King's Tomb right here. That's going to get him his bow.
Yeah, he's not going to like seeing the bow right after leaving that area, I can guarantee you. This might make him a little sick. So he's acquired the bow. Let's see if he heads right back or if he tries going up the mountain, because he can go up the mountain if he wishes to. But again, I just thought of something else. I don't think... Can we use our current loadout to take out Moldorm?
Oh, God. I don't think so.
I don't either. Like, I've never tried taking out Moldorm with a Cane of Samaria and 2 medallions. I really can't say I have experience with that. And our tracker has stepped away from it. We are going to get the bow marked for P-Train momentarily as well. As well as that Moon Pearl is marked for DIVISIGNS.
DIVISIGNS finishing up Eastern Palace. His timer is really messing with me.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
He has a different timer. It expands from the center. It's actually going to expand one more level once the hour shows up. But that's why the timer is... It's a weird timer. I will agree with that. But let's not talk about the timer. Let's talk about the fact that P-Train is saving and quitting from where he was. DIVISIGNS is about to enter the fight with the Armos Knights. And, well, they're not going to last very long. Let's see if he goes for the quick kill. He is going for the quick kill. A little different setup than I saw in another race, but he is... Oh, he didn't get the last shot right. He only got one hit into the last Armos Knight. What he needed to do was he would have needed to get 2 hits into one of the Armos Knights, and then kill another Armos Knight, get the last arrow into the final Knight before that Knight turned red. But he only had 1 shot. He got the second shot, and then the Knight turned red. So he had to spend a couple extra arrows. Not a big deal, just a slight time loss.
I know a lot of you watching this might be thinking, that's only a 1 or 2 second time loss. That's not going to be a big difference in a race that takes an hour and a half to 2 hours. We had a tie, I believe, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, we've had 2 ties. We've had 2 ties.
Oh, no.
One was broadcast. The other one I just saw in the results yesterday. We had another tie that was not broadcast. So yeah, that 1 or 2 seconds does make a difference.
And P-Train's an execution-heavy racer. He knows a lot about the ins and outs of just like everything about the game, and that is somebody you don't want to lose seconds to.
Absolutely.
In the Dark World, we get the Ice Rod from the chess game. And I saw a red pendant over at looked like Eastern. I did not see where the blue pendant was.
I didn't catch that either, unfortunately. Ooh, red boomerang at the C-shaped house. Not an important item, but hey, we have it.
Looks like the other pendant was Swamp Palace. 3 pendants or 3 dungeons that people kind of don't want to go to, having pendants.
That can be a good or a bad thing, because that means the runners are most likely going to try not to route into those dungeons if they can avoid them. This could mean that if the items are there, they're missing those items.
Yeah, Palace of Darkness has 5 items in it, and Swamp Palace has 6 available, so there's a good chance there's an item going to be there that they need. But the question is, when do you make that play? And that is the key of Rando, basically.
Rando will be Rando.
Also randomize the number of digs it takes to find the dig game item. This is going to be the same for both racers, but this can go up to 30, and it is going up that way for DIVISIGNS.
23. I mean, I saw 28 for the flippers yesterday, so 23 isn't as bad.
Looks like DIVISIGNS is going to turn in the blacksmith.
This is actually a really good check. We actually saw this avoided in a race yesterday, and avoiding it for as long as we did, we ended up finding an item here later that was needed. So this is a good check the other way, because we have the mirror, we have everything we need except for the hammer to check hammer pegs. We can't do that right now, but we can check everything else along the way. K45, Stumpy. We don't have the shovel. We can't check the shovel spot. So 2 checks will be left out, but it does get several really nice, easy, convenient checks in a row right out of the way right away. We can also take the purple chest over to the desert as well.
It is a heck of a counterfeiting ring. 300 rupees being made by the blacksmiths, and DIVISIGNS is going to go ahead and pick up the purple chest.
They just work for the palace. It's okay. They make money for the government.
And P-Train issues that quick kill on Armos Knights, gets his first crystals at 2253.
So we do have a crystal tie at this point. DIVISIGNS currently has a little bit more of an exploration edge, I would say, in parts of the Dark World. P-Train has not been to the Dark World yet. That may change now. Notice P-Train starting by pulling out the mirror and simply warping to the Star Sanctuary. Again, saving that extra 2 seconds it takes to walk out. You may think, again, that 2 seconds doesn't mean anything. You can laugh as you will, but we have seen Tide.
Oh, look what DIVISIGNS is going to be doing. DIVISIGNS does not have the purple chest with him right now.
Yeah,
And, let me put the emphasis on right now.
Go ahead.
DIVISIGNS is going to be doing a newer or more recently utilized glitch where he is able to leave the purple chest there by that ring of flowers, and then dash down this way and mirror back in right at where you would turn it in, and it still counts. Saves about 15 or 20 seconds that way.
I've actually never seen that before. And we're now going to get the check of Hype Cave here.
We're also going to get the front of Skull Woods.
Hey, what do we have at Hype Cave today? This is usually a cave that has been very awful in this tournament. There's 20 rupees. There's a cape. There is some bombs. There is a heart container. There is our sword. We have a sword in Hype Cave. Virtual Cat, rate that Hype Cave.
I mean, it gives us their first sword, but here's the thing. They have flippers. They have mirror. They could just go over to the Lake Hylia Island and get that Master Sword right now, and it looks like that's what's going to happen.
Yep, that gives a very good swinging advantage right away. So finding that first sword at Hype Cave is very, very convenient.
Yeah, it's a big jump from Fighter Sword up to Master Sword. It's just for the reach advantage alone. And then it's an even bigger jump from Master Sword to Tempered. So our racers are definitely going to want to try to find that third level sword. And then there's the Book of Medora.
Now, they are capable of backdooring into Desert Palace right now through Misery Mire if they wish to. So that Book of Medora doesn't mean anything in terms of dungeon progression at this point. However, the Book of Medora does open up 2 tablet items. And with Master Sword, they can't check those.
Well, they need the flute to do that for Desert Palace, but they can't enter Desert Palace the normal way.
No, that's true. They would need Desert Palace. You're right. I didn't consider they didn't know the flute yet.
Oh, P-Train. Choo-choo, hovering on along that little gap there.
Sneaky. Ooh, nice bonk across. I like it.
And DIVISIGNS showing us how to route around those pegs if you don't have the hammer. We're going to get a pyramid check. This location has ruined a lot of people's races in the past.
And whether it be the one on the ledge or the one inside.
Ooh,
Quake. All of our coins have been located. Actually, where was Bombos? Because I see it clicked on P-Train's side.
Bombos was, I think, in Skullwoods.
Okay.
No, escape.
Escape, okay. Oh, we completed our boomerang collection, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, why have one boomerang to throw around when you can throw 2? 2 boomerangs.
And both of our racers getting these sort of like one-off out-of-the-way checks out early. DIVISIGNS doing Pyramid and Catfish. P-Train doing Graveyard Lead.
And Catfish not worth the time. Oop. Beat, part strats. We're gonna get to hear that for a while. And P-Train now officially completing his Boomerang collection.
DIVISIGNS making his way up Death Mountain. We're going to be able to see what's in the Spectacle Rock Cave and on top of Spectacle Rock.
Ooh, we have an Ice Rod. Actually, DIVISIGNS already picked that up from the treasure game. I just didn't catch that previously.
Oh, the flute is up in Spectacle Rock.
Ooh, very
This
nice.
has been available for 10 minutes now. Oh, since 10 minutes. Almost 2/3 of the race, they could have had this flute.
As soon as they picked up the lamp from Escape, they could, or not from Escape, from back of Escape, they could have had this flute anytime after that.
P-Train is going into Thieves Town with 5 hearts and no sword. Is this an inverted seed? No, it's not.
Let's not talk about that inverted nonsense in here. So DIVISIGN is going to be coming upon his full heart container. Not. Oh, he has his flute already. He may stop and pick up the heart container because it doesn't hurt to have a little extra health at this point.
Yeah, it's a full heart. I mean, you might as well. When you only have 6 hearts or 7 hearts already. But he is going to go on into Tower of Hera. 2 items here.
Because he doesn't have the book, which P-Train found in Skull Woods, this is going to orphan the Ether tablet. So DIVISIGNS may have to make an extra trip up here if it turns out the Ether tablet has something on it. P-Train will be able to clear it right away. Of course, as soon as P-Train finds the swords first.
Well, he's making his way around. He'll have them here in probably about 2 minutes or so.
Yep, probably. I wonder if anyone's going to spell out words in here at some point during this tournament. Or draw a picture or something. So DIVISIGNS is heading upstairs. We are going to see what the big chest and tower here contains. And there it is. And it is a key. So we are going to have to consider... I didn't say if we already found an item or not there, but we are going to have to consider whether the basement comes into play here.
I believe 1 item's been found. Oh, and DIVISIGNS does the thing that I am terrified of. Every time I try that, and it is bouncing back into that hole.
Boing! Oh, sorry, wrong item. P-Train taking his purple chest, and he may do this the more conventional way. You should always return the lunchbox itself to Gary. Oh, Moldorm is coming in hot today. And we have a dead worm. No one rage phase.
Oh, and we do have an item in the coffee break room.
Yep, that's a dusty old map, and that will show you where the coffee break room is, which is important because you're going there to get an item. P-Train completes his check of K45, and he go visit Stumpy.
DIVISIGNS orphans the basement of Hera. And where is he going from here?
That could be a very bad thing, leaving the basement of Hera orphaned like that. So we'll see if that actually does come into play here at some point.
DIVISIGNS is going to go activate his flute.
Looks like it. Now, we don't have the audio on him, so we're not going to hear the music, but we will have that later on P-Train's side. And P-Train, I guess he did the same trick.
P-Train's going to get a chance to check the Bombos tablet down here.
Yep, he can do it. Well, actually, no, he can't. He doesn't have a sword. He can only check the item. He can't claim it. He has cash, so he knows not to come back. Now, of course, there is one item that we can still check with that book that we cannot pick up that way, even if we do have a Master Sword. That would be the Master Sword pedestal. We don't know if there's anything good on the pedestal yet, but this has also been one of those things that can make or break a race. And there are still a lot of items out there, so we will see if that does come into play later.
Misery Mire checks here from DIVISIGNS, and just a couple of usable items, bombs and arrows, in the Misery Mire shed. We still got checkerboard cave that we can check here.
Did you see what the entry key was?
I did not. We do have access to all three pendants, so...
Oh, yeah. True, but just curious which one opened it. That is our tempered sword. We have our bacon blade, ladies and gentlemen. And according to chat, it was ether, so we can at least mark that.
I never liked bacon. I always like. I think it's a lightsaber. It's a Sith saber.
No. It's the bacon blade. I mean, how else can you make bacon?
I mean, that is true.
It's interesting that we still have not seen the hammer yet.
That is. There's a lot of places that could be, really.
Indeed.
Dipson's going to go ahead and grab that bottle. He doesn't necessarily need it, but it's always nice to have a safety or two. And that's a pretty quick grab.
So DIVISIGNS is going to go check the right side of Desert Palace now. There are 2 chests on this side. Chances are one of them contains a dungeon item. Both could contain items. This will tell us what is on what was on Lanmolas once we see these items. There is a compass.
Which means up here, we got to have the big key up here.
Yep. That means I think we have an item on Lanmolas.
I mean, it could be in the big chest.
True. He did not open that, I guess. It looks like. Well, he has to clear Lanmolas anyway, so this is actually a good play to skip the big chest for now.
It is.
If he defeats Lanmolas and finds the item, he doesn't have to open the big chest.
P-Train is going into pod hammerless. 5 items in here. Hammer's really only required for one of them. So we will see what we have available in the Palace O Darkness.
At this point, there's a very good chance that this could indeed be where the hammer is located. But I have to keep thinking, since we can get to Village of Outcasts already, we should be able to get down here from there instead of using the hammer to get to Swamp Palace. So I wonder if it could be in Swamp Palace as well.
Well, Swamp Palace, we only have one chest we can check without the hammer.
I've seen it there.
It absolutely can be there. Swamp Palace seems to be ground zero for those I've seen it there type situation.
Yep. DIVISIGNS does complete the battle with Lanmolas, and well, we're going back to open the big chest.
There's key number 1 and key number 2.
All the keys. The discussion in chat as to whether Pendant Pod is a good place to go look for items. There's 5 unique items in here. It's one less than Swamp Pal, so it's, in my opinion, still a good one. Ah, more keys.
Yeah, P-Train's going to be able to access every chest except for the Helmosaur chest. Without the hammer. Oh, and Fire Rod was in that big chest in Desert.
So just in case you somehow never found that lamp in the back of Escape, at least you had the fire source to get to land Molus in the big chest. That's pretty convenient. Was that another key?
That was the big key.
That was a big key.
So yes, but no.
So all the keys are showing up. Well, we are finding all the keys in the front and the party in the back. We're going to get a hammer yump attempt here, it looks like. Nicely done. Compass. Kill the little dino guy. 10 arrows. We finally have items again. And he's good on keys. He's going to go ahead and use the key and walk in here.
We've got 4 more items we can check here. There's one small key. I'm going to check this area down here with a bunch of rupees.
If we don't see the 6th key down here, we can skip the, well, never mind. We have to open that chest now. We have all the keys.
Oh, is Pendant Pod going to be a bust?
We could have skipped this chest down here, but since we have all 6 keys, we know there's not a key in this chest. So if there had been no key in the downstairs area, we would have known this chest had to be a key. We could have skipped it, gone straight to Helmosaur once we had the hammer. So Pendant Pod usually has something, but today... Is P-Train going to... Where is he going?
P-Train is going to Desert.
Yeah, looks like it.
He could get in via the book.
Yep. Meanwhile, DIVISIGNS is working through Skull Woods, and he is working through the back section right now. This is the section where a beautiful little bug lives, and we don't like beautiful little bugs, so we're going to squash it. Oh, look at that bunny sprite.
That's a good bunny sprite.
I'm not even sure what that is.
That is the Link face from the Bad Hints.
Actually, is funny. DIVISIGNS avoids being handled. And that Fire Rod is going to make short work of this bug, assuming that he uses it. But he's using the... Yep, there comes out the Fire Rod. He's using the Bacon Sword as well, the Tempered Sword. And fairly nicely done. Prize isn't worth it, but at least we got the dungeon out of the way.
Yeah, probably the easiest dungeon to really route through, but it's got a heck of a boss there, Mothra. Or Mothula. Very close in name to Mothra. Probably cousins or something.
Mothula, yeah. And he's going to go back in because there's another chest to check, and I think I'm guessing he must not have opened the other items along the way yet, because I don't recall if there was another item in the front half of the dungeon or not.
He didn't do any of those front half chests.
Yeah, I thought maybe he didn't, so he's going to see what's in this chest right now, make sure it's not the second item, and it isn't. And P-Train, after not, I think it was him who didn't play the race game, and he saw the bottle, and he decided he's going to get that bottle. And release the bee. Friendly bee.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I want to do one of these races, you can even make your own races, place items where you want them to place, and you can make it so that enemies drop swarms of bees. It's really cool to do that, and then let all your friends play it. It's called a Virtua Cat seed.
Of course, the concept itself is referred to as a randomizer. You can actually do it to a certain extent where you might, and I actually have seen this in a tournament format. I won't discuss where this was, but I have seen a tournament format where 1 or 2 items were placed on purpose, and then the seed was played by the runners, and with the randomizer item format aside from that. So if you want to give yourself a challenge, yes, you might know where one item is located, but you have to find your way to get to that item, and you have to find out how quickly you can do it even with that knowledge.
If you turn on the bees, it can actually despawn sprites. So if you've, for instance, the room that P-Train is in, if you kill too many enemies and have too many bees on the screen, that key will not be there.
And P-Train about to go take on the Lamolus fight. He's going to see his back. So P-Train now doing the Lamolus fight. What are we going to find? Actually, have we? I don't think we've seen Thieves Town yet in the back half. Let's see if DIVISIGNS goes to finish Thieves Town now that he has the Baking Blade.
We
I think he will.
have not, and P-Train running into some trouble with Landmo. Oh, 1 heart left, and he takes it. He did pick up a fairy in the Desert Palace fairy room.
Yeah, I would have at least revived him. DIVISIGNS getting Compass, and sure enough, he is going to continue into Thieves Town. It's a crystal. He needs to finish it. The only problem is that we don't have the hammer, so we're not going to be able to get the item out of the hammer chest. He's going to hope that he can conclude there's a dungeon item located in that chest. I don't think the key can be in there in this flag set, but I know I've seen that the key can possibly be locked in there as well. So that's possible in some formats because the key can lock itself.
Well, P-Train is going to head up to Death Mountain. Maybe? Nope. Nope, he is going back to the Dark World. And DIVISIGNS down to 1.5 hearts in the back half of Thieves Town.
This is really, really, I want to say kind of iffy at this point because we don't... We have some very enemies that can actually take those 2 hearts off as you continue through Thieves Town, especially these bugs. Running out of that bug, you're back at the beginning of the dungeon.
Oh, and there's the hammer.
Oh! What a great place for the hammer in the Sunshine Room of Thieves Town.
So we are looking for a hook shot at this point to be able to finish this seed.
DIVISIGNS going to continue down the basement. P-Train about to open the back half of Skull Woods, and he's going to go fight a giant pest.
Luckily for DIVISIGNS, there's a couple heart drops here. I think he'll be able to grab 2 or 3 hearts.
Yep, he just picked up a couple there. There's a key. Guess what? The hammer chest is in play. We don't have a map yet, so if we see a map on blind, you might be coming back here later with the... You're going to go try and check the hammer chest, aren't you? Well, he doesn't have the hammer. He found the hammer here, of course. Have to remember he found the hammer here, and he can get his bag of powder out of that chest.
And DIVISIGNS has his cape ready for blind. He's got a good bit of magic, so I'm going to go ahead and use that just for safekeeping.
Now, the interesting question for me will be, will P-Train, let's get the blind quote. Desert humor is often dry. So I'm going to be interested to see if P-Train actually tries going into Thieves Town at this point without the hammer, because I've seen runners stray away from finishing a dungeon where they can't clear everything at the same time. This could be a case where P-Train could opt to do that with Thieves Town. Of course, the danger with doing that is he could leave, he could not go with Thieves Town for a while. I thought he was going to do a ped check for a minute. P-Train just jinxed me there.
Very, very good blind fight by DIVISIGNS. Gives him his 5th crystal. And he's
I was
Ice
watching
Palace Rock left.
I was watching P-Train to see if he was going to check the ped. Did DIVISIGNS find the map on blind?
Yep, map was on blind.
Map on the blind, yeah. And I'm forgetting again, we did open the last chest. Never mind. So what is going to be a hammer pick? Now that we can check that, it is half magic. We will accept that, and that's almost French vanilla. I mean, normally it's located right in this on this screen where the Batcave is. Well, in the light world version of the screen, which is what we're going to check right now. So, the story of the Mad Hatter, I think is what he's called in the Link to the Past games, he doesn't like you waking him with powder, so he curses you. So, he likes to say, I curse you by taking your money. Of course, the reason behind that is that's normally the half magic. He basically says he's going to take away all your magic, and then he just doubles your magic.
DIVISIGNS is going to go do the rest of Dark Death Mountain here. Doesn't want to go to Ice Palace quite yet, and P-Train gets his hammer.
DIVISIGNS taking hits from a couple of the cabbages on the way up. They're going to stop falling as he climbs the ladder here. There we go, he's clear. And into the portal. Okay, he is going to get the ether check in. Now, P-Train still has not been up on Death Mountain. He can do all of Death Mountain now, but actually, he was on Death Mountain. He had to get an item up there, but he hasn't done a lot of Death Mountain, so he's going to be able to do a whole chunk of it when he goes back up there.
Yeah, P-Train has only turned in the old man item.
I feel like there was something in Lumberjack that he had to pick up as well, or in Sanctuary Rock he had to pick up as well. What was in Sanctuary Rock again?
Black Rocks was nothing.
Sanctuary Rock, not Black Rocks.
Oh, Spectacle Rock. Oh, that was the flute.
Yeah, he. Oh yeah, he doesn't have the flute yet. Okay, that's what I was missing.
Sanctuary Rock. That's like Reliant K and 5 Iron Frenzy, right?
Sorry.
just a dumb music joke.
I didn't hear you. I had someone DM'd me for quick on something, but what was your question?
Nothing. Just a dumb joke.
Gotcha. No, I don't usually let things distract me, but I just have an assignment due tomorrow. Someone from my group was DMing me. I'm just letting them know I'm in a race. So anyway, we are getting a look at Paradox Cave right now, and we are seeing that we do have 5 items here. We have to kill these 3 mini Moldorms, and we're going to see what is in these chests. We have to kill the mini Moldorms to leave the room. You don't have to clear them to check the chests, obviously, but there are 10 arrows. There's a piece of heart. Collect the magical on the way. Why not? There's another piece of heart. Another piece of heart. And, wow, that was a ugly Paradox Cave, quote unquote, lower floor.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got a lot of items already, so not necessarily going to be a lot in there. Another sword would be cool. Divison's probably still hoping for Bombos. Bombos is what's needed for Toro Rock. That could be a turning point in this seed. P-Train doing Ice Palace.
Oh, the Super Bunny Cave, so named because you can actually get in this cave as a bunny and open those chests. Just 2 pieces of heart in them, so not worth the investment.
P-Train in my favorite room of the game, that double Stalfos room. That looks like a really difficult and complex kill. It's pretty easy to pull off and always looks really cool. Oh, and Hookshot in Hookshot Cave.
Wow.
That is the dream.
Wow. That is all. Wow. Did he not check the rest of Hookshot Cave while I was there?
No, he did not. That's go mode for Divisigns.
I thought he doesn't have Bombos.
He doesn't, but he doesn't need Bombos to open Turtle Rock, which is Quake, as we just found out.
Okay, I thought you said it was Bombos. Got it. So yeah, that means that Divisigns very, very early in this race, about 54.5 minutes or so, is in go mode. And if you don't know that you can get the hook shot there by bonking and crossing the gap like that, if you don't know that, you are doing that for a while. Like you're looking around for a long time through Pen Dungeons trying to find this item, only to find that you could do that. And notice that Divisigns open Turtle Rock, but is not going in to do it right now. He's going to come back and do this later. The reason he's going to come back and do this later, probably after Ice Palace, which is where he's going right now, the only other crystal he needs, is because once he comes back, he's going to be able to go straight from Turtle Rock to Ganon's Tower. That way he doesn't have to climb up the mountain again, which he's going to have to do at some point anyway. So he wants to do Turtle Rock last.
And P-Train has taking out Cold Stare. That's Krako on loan from the Kirby series. And just get some bombs, but he does get a crystal for his trouble.
Kirby, one of my favorite characters. Yes, I like to call him Krako too.
So Divisigns needs to do Ice and T-Rock. P-Train needs to do T-Rock and Hera. And that is very, very convenient for P-Train. He is able to do Turtle Rock, mirror out in front of Ganon's Tower, do Hera, and then immediately mirror back in and do Ganon's Tower.
Now, there is a comment about P-Train being someone who can hover. He needs to get the flute here on Death Mountain, obviously. I think that is going to be him. No, he doesn't even need the flute. He can go without that, I think. He'll find it, but he may not need it, because once he can, whether he gets the hookshot or not, knowing how to hover, he'll probably want it for Turtle Rock, but if he's confident in his ability to hover in Turtle Rock, he may try to go without it.
See if he goes for it.
Let's see if he actually knows the trick to get to the lead to the chest and hookshot cave first. If he doesn't, he may go for it. We'll see.
P-Train does not need your flute. He denounces your flute.
Yeah, Misery Mire's not needed, so sorry, flute. Duck is staying stuck today.
We did not have to go into any pendants dungeons this seed at all.
Well, we did, but we didn't have to. Absolutely. Nice 4 kill. That can be done very cleanly if you actually drop a bomb on the first 2 as you come out of the stair, and then just sword slash the other one.
Oh, this very well may just come down to swords. Divisign having that tempered sword. If P-Train's able to find one in Ganon's tower, then I think P-Train might take this. But as of right now, this is very up in the air and close.
Yeah, at this point, and by the way, it's worth pointing out, by the way, P-Train is done Ice Palace and done all the dungeons except for Tower of Hera and Turtle Rock, so he's going to do Tower of Hera last. How often in a non-spoiler race seed, which you can often plan it, how often in a regular randomizer can you see Tower of Hera done last before going into Ganon's Tower? It's the same building. It's just a different world.
He's in Tower of Hera right now, boss.
He could. That's a good point. He could have done Tower of Hera last. I'm surprised he didn't.
Oh, go ahead.
Now that I think about it, he's looking for the hook shot in here. That would explain it.
Divisign's making good use of that half magic with that fire rod against Cold Stare. Cold Stare's a scary boss. Like, there's a reason why they give you the blue mail in that dungeon. Cold Stare will destroy you with green mail. What, 4 hearts per touch?
3, I want to say. Three or 4.
Oh, Divisign's is stocking up on a couple potions here.
He only has 11 hearts. This may not be a bad idea. P-Train is going to go over to the Turtle Rock area. He is going to open it up because he has all the medallions. The question will be if he goes right in without the hookshot or if he goes to check Hookshot Cave first. He does have one chest available. That is where it is, in Hookshot Cave. Is P-Train going to go to try to hover Turtle Rock fully? This could be entertaining. Oh, the madman. He's going for it, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to do it without the hook shot.
There's not terribly too much that he needs to hover, just the big key or big chest room, right?
It makes the right side room a little longer to clear, but not. Yeah, he's treating it as go mode because he can hover the Moldorm. I'm surprised he's not looking for the hook shot, but I guess he's confident not needing the hook shot to do to finish the game.
I mean, that's why he is known as Mr. Confidence in the ALTTPR community.
Yep. So he is definitely treating this as go mode right now. But that begs the question again: why didn't he come here before going to Tower of Hera if he's going without the hook shot? I'm curious about that.
Probably just he had to do it by going up the mirror and hammer way. So might as well do Hera there to maybe get a sword advantage.
Well, that makes sense. So P-Train doing the area the longer way here and is going to now enter the door. He's actually slightly ahead doing this side of Turtle Rock. This could be a very close race. We're only an hour and 2 minutes in. We're on our 7th Crystal Dungeon. And they're both right behind each other. So there's 2 keys in that upper pair of chests. That means there could be an item in the Chain Chomp's room. I like to affectionately call him Chompy because I like to nickname the characters.
Chain Chomp's like legit one of the best Mario enemies, right?
Oh, like, absolutely. It's trying to be friendly, but it will kill you.
And these Chain Chomps probably the most lethal Chain Chomps in Nintendo history. These things will take off quite a bit of health. And that was the big key in the Chomp room.
Most lethal? They don't take more than a third of your power, and that's the most they can take in a Mario game.
No, I just don't understand the architecture here in Turtle Rock. Load-bearing drywall type of place.
P-Train is stealing the key. Looks like we do have the big key, and he is going to go without checking that island chest. That will save him having to check the key on Laser Bridge, assuming there is one on Laser Bridge. If he finds the 4th key he needs, he can skip every chest from there on. Oh, DIVISIGNS almost opened the door. Muscle memory, but got away.
P-Train skipping mirror spot for Mimic Cave. That makes sense.
So we're in, skipping Mimic Cave is definitely a great time save, and both runners doing that. So they are literally pacing each other here. So here we are in the dark. I'm trying to get an idea how far apart they are. I saw 104.31 as P-Train was creating the platform. Gonna get a sense of what the time differential is here in a moment. DIVISIGNS opening the chest to find the red rupee there. We are gonna have to get the key. I guess we are gonna have to get the key on Laser Bridge, it looks like.
This does go back to that quick kill on Armos Knights that we talked about.
About 20 seconds, by the way.
Laser Bridge 1 is a map. Laser Bridge 2 is 10 arrows. Laser Bridge 3 is a full heart. Meaning Laser Bridge 4 has to be the...
You know what this means? This means there was a small key in the big chest. But because they didn't take the Mimic Cave passageway, they didn't get that key, so they had to do all Laser Bridge. Oh, what nice chest selection by DIVISIGNS there. Skips the middle two, gets the end one, saves a little bit of time, just like ESP called him to it.
And here's where P-Train's going to probably lose a little bit of time fighting Trinex here.
Yep.
Member of the Racing Council.
Indeed. He hasn't hit anyone there yet, has he?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he is just wailing away.
Well, you can use the magic on the heads without having to pull the sword out. So this is where the difference would come in with the sword power on the final hit. He could pull out the hammer if he wanted the tempered sword power, but he's going to stick with using the sword, it looks like. And there it is. So we're going to find when the screen fades to black. That'll give us our difference. But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, we have a game we like to play here on the Speed Gaming channel. It's called the Big Ganon's Tower Big Key Guessing Game. And how do you play the Ganon's Tower Big Key Guessing Game, you ask? You just type a number in chat. Number from 1 to 22. Only from 1 to 22. No negative numbers. No integers above 22. And no decimals, please. Whoever guesses the correct chest where the Ganon's Tower Big Key is located will win a fabulous prize. First Cat, where do you think that big key is today?
I think it is going to be Skeleton Room, top left.
What number is that?
Well, that depends on which way P-Train goes.
Well, you have to pick a number.
Let's say 6.
All right, and it's always 11 because, well, always. So we're guessing 6 and 11. P-Train is 20 seconds ahead by the screen fading to black. I was watching those times there, about 20 seconds ahead. So very good difference here. This is going to be close, ladies and gentlemen. And guessing shall now cease as P-Train enters the Ganon's Tower. By the way, if they diverge in routes, we are going to follow P-Train's chest order. And the torch counts as the first item since he is going that way. We will see the torch first. That is a key. He's going to grab that. He may do Dark Magician or he may continue all the way through Random Room like I would if I started going left. So let's see what we find. There's our butter sword, by the way, on the right side. There is
Oh
our
my gosh, that is... Depending on the order that P-Train goes, if he Dark Magician...
P-Train is hovering. I think he's going to Dark Magician. We have to remember not having the hook shot. So he may Dark Magician then.
well, there's some red mail.
DIVISIGNS follows over to the left side. We'll only check the Hope Room chests. No big key yet. So we are at 5 on the official count. But we know that there are 7 chests that it cannot be in.
All right. P-Train is going to get a sword upgrade. He is going to get Tempered Sword.
That is going to be welcome for him. He's going to be happy he found that one.
We got a gold hint tile.
Always the best hints from a gold hint tile. The trolliest hints.
Those are legendary hints.
Exactly. The legendary troll hints.
Oh,
no.
Firebar Room.
Ooh, that was the very next chest on the left side. P-Train did not go to that one. So we know where it is. We're going to get the count there eventually because we're going to get up to 11 down here, unfortunately. That's going to give DIVISIGNS the lead, by the way. A very good lead at this point.
Oh, but that might be it. Oh my gosh.
Oh my. Silver arrows that DIVISIGNS did not continue to pick up. DIVISIGNS will have to fight without the silver arrows. He may look for them upstairs, but he's not going to find them.
And
He'll have to fight again without the silver arrows.
P-Train mirrors. He is not going all the way down to Armos.
That is good. Not a lot of runners will because you can continue to Armos from rando rooms. So a lot of runners will mirror at that point and just come back. I personally would go to random room and then continue all the way down. I just don't race, so I've never actually shown that off.
And DIVISIGNS is having a great gauntlet so far.
P-Train does find the big key, by the way. I believe that would have been number 8 because I didn't watch, but it would have been number 8 in the count. So let's see who guessed 8. Or no, 12. Sorry, 12. 12. Because we already had 11. That would have been 12. Let's see who got 12 today. As we have our Landmola's kill after the gauntlet, which is one of the hardest series rooms in the game. You wouldn't know with red mail and 12 hearts and a bunch of medicine and fairies. I am so far not finding a guess for 12 here. Let me keep... Oh, I found one. Psyker22, you guessed 12. Therefore, you get a fabulous prize. And I'll tell you what the prize is today. It's a shout-out for winning the Big Key guessing game. Congratulations, Psyker.
Good job, Psychar. I knew you had it in you.
So we're coming up to one of the final 2 torch puzzles in the game. We have to lift all these skeletons. DIVISIGNS doing that. Lighting the lanterns with the lamp. Gonna have to get the fire rod out to do the last one. There it is. And lit. Prize, your next ice rod will not be on your pet, says our tracker.
And if you notice there, DIVISIGNS did something really smart. He waited until the doors shut before he climbed those stairs. When you are in a race against somebody level P-Train and you are this far and you are winning, you want to avoid anything that could go wrong. And climbing those stairs at the wrong time can absolutely go wrong.
To explain why, you can actually despawn everything in Ganon's Tower, and that's the reason. That means you would have no Moldorm, no Aghanim if you can even hover across. You're resetting the tower.
Oh,
that could also... Wow! Now, P-Train is still a couple rooms behind, but those silver arrows are going to catch him up on the Ganon fight. This could be insanely close. The time saved by the silver arrows is easily 40-45 seconds, and that's I want to say that's close to where P-Train is behind right now.
Big 20 there in the very last chest of the seed. I always like it when people open that. It's just nice to know.
Indeed. Indeed. It might be a little further for P-Train, but we'll see what the silver arrow difference actually does give him here. Either way, this is going to be super close. We could also have an extra phase of Aghanim for DIVISIGNS. P-Train could do Aghanim quicker. Could be an extra phase of Ganon if for some reason we can't melt those first two phases quickly, which we probably will. So DIVISIGNS is now fighting the Aghanometry fight. We just have to get 6 orbs into the real Aghanim. There are 2 fake ones that also throw orbs. You can hit them with all 3 at the same time if you're so lucky. You might also get a blue ball that you can't hit back. Like that one that we just saw a moment ago. DIVISIGNS does need another hit here.
I saw Aghanometry on tour with Bauhaus and Nasuk back in like 92.
P-Train almost falling. He is lucky to hold on. I'm surprised he didn't just take out the worm at this point to make sure it was gone, but he does hover across. He is going through. Hold on, we'll let you live today. And the bat crashes through. We're going to have a cuckoo-shaped hole created in the top of a pyramid, just ironically enough. Looks like that to me. And Ganon usually has some words of wisdom. Yes, it's time for the Big Pig. What does he say today? He talks about bacon. Picasso. Beautiful.
The Big Pig, the Sublime Swine, the Top Cop. And DIVISIGNS already has him in phase 2.
Yep, he got one trident throw in because he's gonna get at least one shot in phase 1, but it only takes a few hits. Okay, you don't even have to bother counting him. It just takes like a few hits and you're done each phase. So he's already on Temper Tantrum mode. But he's gonna have to do this serverless. I think at this point P-Train might be too far behind to make up the time. I think the difference is too great. We will see how it works out though. He would have to have maybe a double-double or a triple somewhere in the silver arrow shots to make it really close, I think. And Ganon is being really, really warpy right now. Like, Ganon, stand still, please. P-Train being educated on the merits of bacon. No, I did not find the arrows in your tower because they didn't go that way.
DIVISIGNS gets the torch glitch. Turning on that left switch or left lamp before the right one goes out. The right one will not go out now. And they are getting these sword swips in. Swips?
Yeah. That is a super important glitch to get when you're dealing with a serverless Ganon because you use magic every time you light that torch. If you're in out of magic, you can't do anything to Ganon. So that's important. P-Train is going to have a lot of warps to go through on this part of Ganon. DIVISIGNS only needs about 4 more hits. I think he has this. I don't see this turning around now. This will be a tremendous victory for DIVISIGNS. One more, I think. P-Train is going to get the final phase now. He has the silver arrows. Oh, he's going to make it close, but Ganon is down for DIVISIGNS. So this is going to be a win for
Oh, that was a triple! That was a triple!
Oh my goodness! Let's see them cross the bridge, then we'll get the official times. That's the only way to really confirm here. That was amazing. That was amazing. Let's just get the times.
I think it's not a tie. I don't think it's a tie.
I don't think so either, but let's see. Let's get them across. Okay. Hello, will you be my friend? Yes. Let's get the times. Where are the times? The times. There they are. We have... No, this is not a tie. DIVISIGNS finishes in first place with an official time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 50 seconds. P-Train, 5 seconds behind. 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 55 seconds. It is an official win for DIVISIGNS. Get your GGs in chat. Oh my goodness.
What a seed.
Wow.
What a race.
That was quite a finish at the end. I did not expect a triple. I was saying that it was possible, but I did not expect a triple at the very end of that game. And that made it super, super close. I am absolutely amazed that that played out the way it did.
And we will see if our racers would like to join us for a post-game chat.
But we're going to find out if DIVISIGNS wants to join. I see P-Train in the waiting room. I want to bring him in at the same time if possible to talk about this, because that was quite a finish. One way or the other, I want to confirm that we are going to get them both in here. DIVISIGNS is on the way, so we'll bring him in at the same time. But before DIVISIGNS joins us on the broadcast side, what would you synopsisize this race coming down to today?
I mean, P-Train did the pod dip, and I think that's might have been it right there.
Oh
okay. So with that said, we are now joined by both DIVISIGNS and P-Train. GG to both of you, and oh my goodness, that was closer than I expected.
GG.
So I thought for a second we might be coming to our third tie this tournament. We've had 2 already, and that's amazing, but oh my gosh, my heart is almost out of my chest on that finish.
It was crazy. Yes, definitely.
So
I was legitimately shocked when DIVISIGNS. I mean, I had no knowledge where the hookshot was, but I was legitimately shocked when I hit dot done and saw that he beat me by 5 seconds.
And I think I saw you guys chatting, so I'm guessing he told you where the hookshot was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dream came true, and chat was very happy to see that. I'll say that. I was wondering whether you might have gone to check that hookshot cave location, but you went right into Turtle Rock, and obviously you didn't need hookshot to finish Turtle Rock. You only useful in one room, but obviously you hovered across scan as well. And I think the one thing that really made the difference is Moldorm was trying to bother you a little bit on the Moldorm 2 fight, P-Train. And that stopped you from being able to hover across for several seconds. If you had gotten off clean right away, this would be a tie.
Yeah, usually I actually have a pause buffer to the hookshot there so I can read the Moldorm RNG, but I didn't have that pause buffer, so he was on that side. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just walk straight down because Moldorm's on the right side, I'll hover the left, and then he started coming toward me, which, it's lucky that I bailed out, because if I had tried the hover, Moldorm would have got me and I would have
failed.
So yeah.
How did you feel near the end when you were heading up to Turtle Rock when you saw that flute? At that point, did you think you were behind?
No, I mean, unless hookshot was behind flute. But, I mean, the Mire area, to my knowledge, wasn't required at all. I had pretty early boots, so I guess maybe a couple of dashes to Kakariko. Getting from Thieves Town to Ice Palace, it would have helped out a little bit, but in my mind, I wasn't too worried about that one. I was more worried about the thought that I'd skipped a sword somewhere.
Well, you did skip a sword somewhere. It was a checkerboard cave.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
And DIVISIGNS, just fantastic race there. You routed that like a champ, man. That was amazing.
Well, I've got to be lucky sometimes. I think my execution wasn't the best, and the moment I went into Dark World and did the map check, I was horrified because I knew it was a cover seat, and I was thinking that hookshot has to be somewhere on the way or I'm doomed, and I got lucky.
Yeah, this leads to the next question. I was going to bring this up when I asked what you thought about the seed, but what was your reaction to bonking to the first chest and hookshot cave and finding the hookshot in there? What was your reaction to that?
Well, I thought that it might be a race. Because if in hookshot cave the hookshot wouldn't have been there, I might have dipped into Maya, for example, because I thought if I would go into a pendant early, it would be Palace of Darkness, and so it would be more likely that P-Train got in there.
There's one more element that we should talk about as well. You were saying that you have to be lucky sometimes. In some ways today, you were lucky because you started with the 2 on the right. Like, we're talking about Gans Tower routing. We need to talk about the Gans Tower routing. You saw it, obviously, because you were both done by the time we got to it on the restream. But you started on the right side. You checked those 2. Then you went full left. P-Train hovered over to the Stelfos room on the left side and then went right. He checked those 4 additional chests before he went back to the left side, hovered down, and got the big key in chest number 12. He was first in Ganon's Tower. We followed his big key guessing game to get number 12. But you were first to get the big key. So that was a huge difference as well, in addition, not even counting the Moldorm situation upstairs. But that was a huge difference, just the routing to get that big key in Ganon's Tower today.
Yeah, it was just kind of interesting. Like, I was really happy to get the I was really happy to find the silvers, especially because I figured that DIVISIGNS probably didn't get that because there aren't a whole lot of people that do that Dark Magician route. Usually I do the full Dark Magician when there's not a small key there, and I almost did it because at that point I didn't know where the hookshot was anyway. So for all I know, hookshot's in front of or behind Ice Armors. But I don't know. I opted to cut my losses. Keep in mind, like, there was no scenario in which I thought that I was behind. Because I'm like, I've done pretty much every crystal. I mean, even if it's in Ice Power, I probably should have checked the big chest in Thieves Town. Because that way, if hookshot was there, then I had 0 advantage over the signs. But I was just so excited to be in go mode, I just skipped it. But and my thought was, even if hookshot is in Ice Palace, then if he had to go to the right side, I'm still ahead of him in that scenario. So it didn't even occur to me that we would be synced, in the Ganon fight.
Well, I can say that I don't think either of you was really ahead or behind for pretty much the entire race. Of course, you had a crystal lead at one point, probably going back and forth somewhere. I think the first crystal you were about 5-10 minutes apart because I think DIVISIGNS did the crystal dungeon in question. Which one was it again? I'm trying to remember. Was it Eastern Palace? I think it was. He had Eastern Palace in advance, and you went to Eastern Palace later, I think, P-Train. So, for example, there was that little difference along the way. But the path divergence eventually just met up, and it got to the point that you had done Ice Palace. He was going into Ice Palace. You were then working on Tower of Hera as he was coming up Death Mountain. So the paths just diverged at Ganon's Tower. It was like neither of you was really behind in any way. It was a close race all the way.
Yeah, it was a really fun seed. I'm really glad that it was this close. I was talking in another Discord about, because I think hovering got brought up in the Racing Council channel today, and I was like, oh, I've ran like 12 races since the qualifiers, and none of them have been hover seeds. and then it's like, oh great, my very first group race. Of course, it's going to be a hover seed. So but yeah, I'm really glad that it wasn't as much of a hover seed as I thought it was. So.
And it was really only 1 or 2 spots. It was only really 1 or 2 spots you really got advantage of it anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, man, heck of a race, DIVISIGNS. Heck of a race.
It was very close.
Yeah, that was very entertaining.
I would recommend to both of you to go back and just watch the last 15 minutes or so from Turok on, just to see how many times it was like, oh my gosh, this might change it. This might change it. No, this is going to change.
We were watching.
They were watching. They were watching. Yeah, keep in mind that there is the 20-minute delay, and this, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know, these races are run on a 20-minute delay. It's basically to make sure that everything is valid and that everything is. I don't want to go into detail about that, but just for race purposes, it is a 20-minute delay. For race validity and things along those lines. And as a result, once the races are finished, there's 20 minutes of racing that they could watch because they're done. They don't have to worry about seeing anything anymore because they're already done. It's not going to affect them at that point. So that they did watch those likely the entire 20 minutes with us after they saw how close it was.
Yeah, no, that was entertaining, even knowing that I'm going to lose by 5 seconds. Still really crazy to watch.
Oh, yes.
You almost brought it back. Those silver arrows, and I said this as soon as you found them too. Those silver arrows did make a huge difference in the Ganon fight. I said it would take a double-double or a triple somewhere. You got that triple.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to manipulate Ganon to where I got the triple, but again, you know, it didn't even occur to me that I would need that triple to even be close, you know, to even try to get a tie. So
yeah, it was super close. So we should start wrapping up here. I know there's still about 45 minutes before the next race on this channel, but so we should start wrapping up anyway, though. Let him get ready for it. What you now have a loss going into the next race here, P-Train. This was game 1, of course. What are you going to change in the next flag set?
I mean, obviously we're going 6 crystals because I want my hover seat. I'm kidding. I honestly don't know. I really haven't looked into the options just because this is my first race, so I haven't even really considered the implications of all. I like map comp and shuffle. I don't know that I want to force that to tournament seed, but there are many options, so I'm going to take a look at them and see which ones I want to go with.
And it's fun to have that little scenario as well. I'm not going to ask DIVISIGNS to say what he fears the most because I don't want to give any insight on that, obviously. But DIVISIGNS, what are your thoughts, final thoughts as we wrap up?
I was so nervous. The entire Ganon fight and in GT as well. But it was really, really fun, and thank you for the restream, for commentating, for watching and tracking.
Yeah, this has been one of the best matches to watch that I've done a commentary on, and I want to say thank you to both of you guys. I want to say thank you to our tracker. I want to say thank you to Cyclone, and everybody else who is watching this.
Yes, it's definitely been my pleasure to be on this race as well. I love getting a close race like this, and I did not. You never expect a race to be close like this, even with 2 top name runners. You might expect it to be like 50 seconds a minute apart at most. You never expect a race to be like this. So this was just a treat to be able to have this so close and such a fast seed too. You were in go in about 55 minutes, so it was great to watch. Thank you for both of you for racing. Make sure you follow both of these runners, ladies and gentlemen. They put on a great show here today. I have the links in the live Twitch chat, but for those on YouTube, they are PTrain24 and then DIVISIGNS exactly as you see it. Those are the Twitch channels, twitch.tv, followed by either of those names. You can get to those channels. And before we do wrap, Rich, any last thoughts you have?
No. I just think that I just want to say again, like, great race to both of you guys, and I'm really excited to watch race 2 in this competition.
It should be a good one. If you thought that was a good race, we still have more races in this series coming up, plus all the other races going on here. Quick look at the schedule for tonight. Coming up later on this channel, we do have 1UP40 versus RD Walsh. He is going to be, or they are going to be racing on this channel in about 45 minutes. We also have going on Speed Gaming 5, literally starting right now, I believe. We have I Am the Schwartz versus Zyrak. We have Quizbolt and Sandres 316 on commentary over there. We probably can end up posting into that in the meantime as the race that we join in progress. And that's about all that's on right now. Later on tonight, we do have, let me find it. We do have at 10:20 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2, we do have Incoherent versus Lin. And then Speed Gaming 4, yet another race coming up here on Speed Gaming 4 after the one I just mentioned. We have Ganon's Gone Wild and Apathy Duck coming up here on Speed Gaming 4. So that is your schedule for the evening. We also have an early morning race on the main Speed Gaming channel between Maximum Barnage and Top Life at 6:05 a.m. So set your alarms and get up early to watch that one if you want to watch that one. And that starts off tomorrow's schedule. Go to speedgaming.org/ALTTPR to get more information on all the races that are taking place on the Speed Gaming channels tomorrow and all the other races in the tournament. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and just remind you, follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, the same as ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5. But on top of that, thank you, chat, for watching. If it wasn't for you, we'd just be yammering to ourselves a little bit. So thank you for watching us yammer to ourselves. I bid you a good night. May not all your seeds be pet seeds. And Virtual Cat, take us home.
Bye.